What's up, everybody? So, today I want to talk about something similar but a little different, if you know what I mean. You know, having kids. And I know I talked about this before, but there's another thing I want to mention about it. When you got to drive, ordering to have a car, you need a driver's license, man. Because if you don't have a driver's license, you can't drive. A cop sees you without a license, you're screwed, you know. So how I look at that is if we should all have a license to drive a car, we should all have a license and we should be agreeing to things and accepting the responsibilities for what it may take to have a kid. And what I mean by that is, people just have kids. Some of them aren't even planned. A lot of times they're not even planned. Some people just like to have a little fun, and by accidentally the kid comes. Some do get abortions. Some just be like, you know what, screw it, let's give it a shot, see how we can do. Now, the thing that irritates me is there's a lot of parents that aren't even, qualified to have kids. And what I mean by that is they don't even know, like they can't understand the responsibilities that it may take to raise the kid. They may be, for example, financially unstable. So there you go, right there. Now the kid's going to suffer in poverty because, you guys just randomly decided to have a kid or by accidentally had a kid, whatever the scenario friggin' is. And now this poor soul has got to suffer the consequences. And is it the poor kid's fault? How could it be the kid's fault? The kid didn't ask to be here. The kid just randomly came. It's the parents' fault because people don't think. People just, think about that pleasure feeling. Sometimes they don't want to wear protection. Who knows? Maybe it breaks. But a lot of times people don't even wear protection. But whatever. People don't think. They just do the action. It goes back with a car, learning the safeties of driving a car, all the rules, all what the signs mean, what this sign means, what that sign means. And then once you do that and you pretty much know what you're doing, then you can have the license to drive the car. It should be the same way for having a kid. You should know what and what not to do with a kid. You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds silly, but it's the truth. Because a lot of times parents don't think. They just do it, and then here we go. Now the poor kid's suffering. Whether they get neglected, whether they're getting abused, whether they're not getting paid attention to. I mean, just whatever. So many friggin' things, And it also goes with pets too, in my opinion. Having a dog or a cat, you shouldn't just be able to get a dog or have a kid in general without understanding the consequences behind it. And if you're able to follow those consequences, if you're able to follow the instructions, I guess you would say, and you're a guy or a girl that can handle it, then that's different. But in all, I mean, I feel like having a kid in this world is just messed up in general. Because, I mean, look at the way life is. But what really irritates me is when parents having kids and they're not even prepared themselves. They don't even have their lives figured out. So now that they don't have their lives figured out, the poor kid suffers. Because whatever financial state they're in now, it goes upon the kid. If the family are, poor, the kid's going to be poor. And then the kid might, unfortunately, have it rough. Maybe living in the streets or has to really stress him or herself hard to be a sheep to try to get by because my two idiotic parents were having fun one day or one night. And then 9 months later, here I come into this shithole that they weren't prepared for. And, well, obviously I wasn't prepared for either. None of us are prepared for it. We just randomly come. It goes back the same thing with a car. You have a license, you got to do this. You got to take a test. And you got to watch a 5-hour, where I did, had to take a 5-hour class when watching a stupid video with safety and shit, But, that should be the same thing with parents. That's the thing. We're not prepared. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't think. We have no, I don't know, what's the right way of I'm trying to think of the right word to try to say. I always get friggin' messed up sometimes. But give me a moment. I guess what I'm trying to say is we don't look at the long-term effect. We're just focusing on the pleasure feeling. And then sometimes it's all about bragging. I I can't wait to have a kid. I can't wait till I'm a father or I'm a mother. It's going to be so fun knowing that I'm a father I mean, whatever. I mean, just stupid shit like that. Meanwhile, are you a real father or are you just some asshole that just claims to be a father, but really you're not a father because you're not doing what it takes to take care of your kid? Instead, your kid's suffering or you're treating them like shit or who knows. I'm just, whatever. Because I always look at it as if a parent has a kid, they should make their lives easier. That's what the parent's supposed to do. Whatever hard work they had to do, they should make it less for their kid. And then, so on. The kid should do the same thing if he ever has it, but that's the thing. It's not really like that. Instead, we're just putting another soul into the meat grinder, literally. Getting tired of saying the hamster wheel, so I felt like saying meat grinder for once, but it all adds up. But yeah, you're just creating more fuel for the wheel, for the meat grinder. Wheel, meat grinder, whatever. And this is how we do it. Sad. And it's just a never-ending loop that just keeps going and going and going and going. Goes the same with dogs too. People should take a background history test before owning a dog because a lot of dogs get abused. But then, of course, none of that really means anything because anyone could just randomly become bad. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when you get a certain gun, you got to take like a background test and, your background history and shit. Make sure you're not a psycho. But at the same time, you could come out clean. Like, for example, I'm not a psycho, but I can randomly get an AK-47 and just turn into a psycho. So, really, it's all meaningless when you come to think about it because we have free will. And what I mean by free will, we could literally change our actions at any time, if that makes any sense. I was known to be a good person, Now all of a sudden I get this type of weapon, I got to go through all this, and if I pass or whatever, now I got it. Okay, I can go to schools now and start shooting. I get, not that I would do that, but I'm just saying that's what people pretty much do. So come to think of it, it's all just meaningless, I guess, but I don't know anymore. It's just, I'm confused myself. I guess it's just besides the fact, in order to drive a car, you need a license. So it should be the same thing for having a kid. We got to follow the rules. We got to know, like I said a little while ago, what signs mean, what this symbol means, what to do at a red light. I mean, who the hell doesn't know what to do? When it's red, obviously you go, imagine. But anyway, but all those protocols should be the same thing for having a kid, But instead, we could just do it out of our free will. I could just do it right now if I want. If there's a female somewhere, but it's crazy, man. It's like, man, it just pisses me off because so many parents are unprepared. Now, I'm not saying, there are parents that are prepared. There's good parents out there, and I always say that. I'm not saying every parent's a jackass, but I am saying the majority of parents are a jackass, Then one kid's not enough. Parents want to have another kid, and then another kid. I say to myself, just one's enough. I don't even want one. I just say to myself, I don't know how people want that. It just adds stress. Plus, in my opinion, I feel like it adds stress on you too, because you got to literally prep him up, take him to school and shit, figure out his life, literally. Before he even knows or she knows what's even this is all about, you're already figuring out for him or her. That's just sickening in itself, but my real motto is, man, especially in today's world, obviously, like I keep saying, it's getting worse and worse and worse, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better. They say make America great again or whatever. Shit was never great. But it wasn't as bad as it is now, but it was always bad life. No matter what, life was always pretty bad. But now it's just, my God, triple. How I look at it is we should just go extinct because what does it matter? Why, like when you think about it, why is it a bad thing to go extinct? Eventually we're all going to die anyway. Now, it's not like I'm saying to us in general, let's all commit suicide or anything like that. But what I'm saying is we should stop reproducing more people and just let this system finally collapse once and for all. It's not going to hurt us in any way. Eventually we're going to die. The only thing is, we die, but we keep spreading more. Like, for example, I eventually died, but I had a kid, let's say, and then my son or daughter, let's just say, has a kid too. My son or daughter eventually dies, and then it just this whole thing just keeps. I just feel like it's so unnecessary. Just let it come to a complete end. We should just go extinct. I mean, that's how I look at it as. I just feel like it's meaningless to keep this cycle going, especially the way life is. You have no free will, literally. I mean, you have free will, like you could do whatever you want. Like, for example, I could go into school right now and probably shoot people. Not that I want to do that, but I'm just saying. But then, of course, I'll suffer the consequences. I'll get arrested and shit. But even in general, I'm not that type of guy. But what I'm trying to say is we have really no free will of, like, doing what we truly want to do with our lives. We're being told by a system what we should do. Go to college, man. It's going to benefit you. Get this job. You don't want that job. This is a good paying job. Do this. You know? It's like we're just being told what to do in this life. And I feel like, why should we keep this legacy going? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make fucking sense. Why keep this legacy going? Plus, we're all going to just die. Well, obviously, but that's besides the point. It's just, why do we want to keep a life going where we got to pay bills, we got to pay for that, we got to pay for this, you know? It's like, it just doesn't make sense to me, man. I mean, a lot of people right now probably be like, bro, you crazy, man. But deep down, I know I'm not. I mean, we see the truth is just everywhere around us. We could see the whole picture, man. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like this shit is stupid. I mean, think of it this way. If we go extinct, this planet itself would be in better shape. We literally destroy the planet. We literally destroy everything. Think of it this way. We have, you have deers living in the woods, bears, whatever. And what do? We ruin their home. We blast it away to build things, whether it's, houses, buildings, a shopping center, a mall, whatever. And then they have nowhere to go. Plus all the trees cut down. They have nowhere to go. But we don't care. We're selfish. We only care for our well-being, And why are we doing all these things for? For money. Like I said, money is the root of, well, yeah, obviously it's the root of all evil, but really we're the root of all evil because we're allowing it. But back to what I was trying to say, that this is why we do these things. It's all just for money. And it's just, we're fucking disgusting creatures, man. That's how I really look at us as. Not saying you guys specifically, but just our kind specifically, the human race, But I mean, it's just, and I say to myself, this just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't pan up to me, man. The world would be such a better place if we went extinct. Animals would have it so much better. They have the whole world to themselves. They don't got to worry about their homes being, disrupted. Oh, man, what the hell they do? Oh, shit. And the deers run, they have nowhere to go. And that's why a lot of times they run on the highway and they get ran over. Plus, they just do that in general. They are stupid sometimes, but, but deep down, it's sad. We destroy, actual nature. Things that been here before we were even here, and we're just destroying it like nothing just to put some stupid business for money, whether it's a house, whether it's building a hospital. I mean, just whatever it might be, a mall, a movie theater. I'm just going on and on with it, but it's crazy. So that's another funny thing when they say they want to try to help the planet. Here, do this. Stop reproducing. Whatever humans are on this planet left, let it be that way. Once we all die out, let us go extinct. And there you go. The planet's probably going to heal up tremendously. Because all we do here is burn fossil fuel. And then plus we have more of us, we keep reproducing. So the more necessities people need. So there goes the planet. So if you guys want to really save this damn planet, wear protection. Stop plugging it in. Well, plug it in at least, but wear protection. I don't know. But seriously, I'm making a little joke out of it. But at the same time, I'm really serious. Like, it's got to stop, man. I just don't see a legacy in this anymore. Like, I don't know why this legacy should keep going on and on and on. It's just the same stale thing. I'm born, I gotta be a stupid wage slave. Then one day I'm gonna, let's just say, have a kid. Now I gotta prep him into being a wage slave. I got to retire. Now he's gotta take care of me for the last decade or two before I croak. All right, now he's pretty much doing what I did. Well, now he wants to have a kid. He wants the legacy to keep going. Now he has a daughter. All right, I want you to be a real nice nurse. And then my son dies or whatever. This is so meaningless, man. What are we doing here in the first fucking place? What is this all about? This is what I say to myself all the time. What is this fucking about, man? I'm just like confused. I'm friggin' mind blown here, man. Like, it's funny how everything we see in life and everything we do is going to be gone one day. It's not even going to, like, literally matter. Money-wise, we stress so much over money. We stress so much over being financially set, being financially stable. Meanwhile, one day we're going to die. And what we make, like I always say, ain't going with us. None of that shit's going with us. We're just going in a fucking box into the grave. Or cremation, who knows, whatever people prefer. But besides the point, we're all just going to be lifeless, man. It just doesn't make fucking sense. Like, you're asked some stupid people, like, for example, why would you want to have a kid? Because I want to start a family, I want to have a wife, I want to have a son or a daughter. I'm really hoping for a son, let's just say. And, all right, so what benefit do you want out of having a kid? The real fucking reason is because I want him to take care of me one day. I'm going to get old and elderly. I may have to may go to a nursing home or something. Or maybe he can take care of me before my end times come. It just, it doesn't make fucking sense. It's pathetic, man. Then people, like, when you say these things to certain people, they'll be like, you're negative, you don't think right. You just have no joy. And the truth is, yeah, because I just don't see joy in this. This is fucking stupid, man. We're just living in a stupid friggin' simulator is what it feels like. When you play a stupid game that you can't stand, you're like, I don't want to hop off this shit. This is what I look at life as. And I can't hop off it, unfortunately, unless I off myself, but I'm, not recommending that, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm trapped in a stupid computer game that I can't get out of, man. Yet alone, I want to have a kid and bring him into the computer game. I just don't see what's the point of that. I feel like this shit it does need to stop. What am I saying? It needs to stop, man. Like I said, if we go extinct, it's not going to hurt us because we're going to die regardless. We're saving the planet that way because we're not bringing any more poor souls. The fuel, like I keep saying, will fucking finally run out. People don't have to be sheeps anymore to the elites. The elites will finally lose their oil. Plus, the elites will die off too, but then there'll be more elites. But even that eventually come to a stop too, because extinction. So when people say go green, care for the planet, do this, do that, I'd be like, no. You guys care for the planet? This is what you friggin' do. People need to stop breeding. People need to stop creating kids. We need to go extinct. Whatever life is here, let it remain. Once we all die off, let us die off. Let that be fucking it. That's it. I don't care if I sound dark. It's the fucking truth, man. Sorry for cursing, but it's the truth. It needs to stop. This is stupid and bullshit. It's just pure suffering and just meaningless, unnecessary stress in this world that we got to deal with. And we just keep the legacy going by reproducing more and more and more and more. What the fuck? What the hell, man? Go green. Shut the lights off for 60 seconds or so. Whatever. I remember a few years back they did that shit. Fuck that. Don't shut no lights off. Shut reproducing off. I kid you not. Shut reproducing off. Stop reproducing. Stop having kids. These are things we should be protesting about. We should have signs saying, stop reproducing. Humanity needs to come to an end. And what I mean by that is once we die, it's it. It runs out. I don't create another son or daughter. Well, I don't have no kids. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to create no son or daughter. And eventually we all just die off. Because we're going to die off regardless. But instead, we're just reproducing so we keep humanity going. But for what? For these assholes? For this stupid system? Let this system collapse. Let this whole fucking bullshit collapse. because we're going to collapse. So why us collapse and they don't collapse? Well, I mean, you know, you get the drift. I mean, seriously, this is bullshit, man. I mean, no matter what, you'll probably get someone that'll say, well, it's bad if we go extinct. And I say to myself, why is it bad? When we're dead, we're not going to know anything, you know? Start reproducing ain't going to harm us. We're going to just live to however long we normally live. And then once our life is over, that's it. We're done. Whatever happens from there, who cares? We're not going to see it. We're not going to be around. We're gone. It's like the dinosaurs. That's it. They're gone. They were going to die at some point regardless. They died sooner. But I just don't see why we should keep this shit going. It just makes no fucking sense. Go green, care for Earth, make Earth good again, great again, or whatever. Yeah, you guys want to make Earth great again? Here's what you friggin' do. Stop reproducing. And then over time, you'll make this stupid planet Earth be good again. But we're never going to follow that, so Earth ain't ever going to be good. Gets me so angry, man, these friggin' dumb people, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night there. I went live actually yesterday. One thing I noticed for some weird reason, when I click on the video for some weird reason, it doesn't show like the live comments from when I was actually live. I don't know why. I do apologize about that. I don't know if anyone else is having that same problem. On the first live that was really shitty with the lag, I noticed it does show the live comments still. So I don't know why. I didn't do anything differently. I started it the same way, at least I think. But you know, I just want to apologize on that one. But one thing I'm thankful that it wasn't as bad. It wasn't lagging as much. I did hear towards one of the parts where the sound randomly shut off, but thank God it came back on. I mean, of course, you're going to have some kind of glitches. Everything's going to have some kind of a glitch. There's no way around it, but I'm just thankful that live went better. And I will be making more lives soon, so definitely stick around. Anyway, guys, love you all, man. Stop reproducing. Let us go extinct so the world could be better again. Because that's the only way I see it getting better. It ain't getting better by us reproducing more and more and more and more kids. But anyway, let me shut my ass up now and call it a night. Love you all.